Good evening. I hope all of you are enjoying your evening. I'm just coming on briefly to cover a couple of things that I said that I do want uploaded to my page, even though I have already made mention to this in the very first video upload that I posted. I still want to come on and add the things that I left out, although I know that they were heard anyway. I just want to make sure that I did give honor and recognition to Brown versus the Board of Education. It's the 70th year of this of the day that we will never forget, where brown and black Americans were given the right to attend schools that had better education, that had education, period, because some people, a certain group, one race, thought that that wasn't necessary, that they didn't deserve their rights, and that was overturned. And that's the importance of amendments and rights and acts in our Constitution, and that's why it always, most definitely, should be valued, and it should not be broken, because we have went through every trial and error within this country, and it needs to be respected. Not only the precedence of all things, but moving forward, because we, all people, all citizens, enjoy living in a free land with liberty and justice for all, and pure justice. And it's just important that the people that do not believe in these things, or do not consider them to hold any weight or value, because they are, convinced that only one race should reside in this country, so on and so forth, do not value the things that I speak of until they're faced with it, until the ball is in their court, and then they begin to want the grace, and then they begin to want the freedom that I speak of. But moving forward, I won't stay on that long, as I have did many videos that will express everything that I'm attempting to express now. I just most definitely wanted to give homage to that day. And I always say, people have a choice to be who they want to be and do what they want to do. But when it comes to oppressing and suppressing others, and feel justified for that, that is absolutely not right at all. So I'm hoping that President Biden can, within these 5 months, most definitely hold, every justice, every judge accountable for interpreting the law properly, correctly, for doing their jobs in truth, as it has attempted to tear this nation apart, whether people like to admit that or not. One of the things that got cut off of my video, or that was in my video, that would not say for some reason, was I pointed out the truth that people that don't believe in the things that I speak of now, liberty and justice for all, freedom for all, which is liberty and justice for all, they are not like us. And because they are not like us, they will go to the extent to oppress and suppress and have a authoritarian type of mentality, also known as a dictator mentality, where all will bow down to them. And yeah, that's just not what we as Americans reflect in any shape, form, or fashion. And it has to be a balance. It has to be peace. I don't understand, people don't want to hear about peace. They don't want to hear about anything. They just want it to their side and their side only. And I'm not sure what the problem is between the two sides. What is so bad that can't be worked out? Besides, you have a former president that's on trial right now, um, and still has more trial, more court dates that he have to attend after this one. My thing is, you would rather lose a nation. You would rather a nation be destroyed and stand on nothing to protect these citizens, to have we are blessed to have resources within this nation. We are blessed to be a superpower all by itself. And you rather throw all that away because of one person is on trial. And I look back and I think about the border bill that was a bipartisan bill that made regulations so illegal, immigrants could not just flood this country. And everything was set up perfectly in that bill. I thought that it still required, amount of spending, that wasn't all that, but that's neither here or there because I have to look at everything in full, so I would save that. But I will say that would have worked, and then President Biden gets accused for the very thing that he was on board with, that he was willing to pass. Okay, so we couldn't pass the border bill because former President Trump didn't want it done. Roe versus Wade was overturned because President Trump wanted it done. He wanted to suppress and oppress people's freedom and their ability. Now, I agreed that there needs to be a cap on it. Not everything is bad that some people come up with, but it may need a revising, may need revision in some type of way. And so I say that to make a long story short because I don't want to be on here long. At the end of the day, it was still did on his behalf to please him. And what happens the moment that you don't want to do what he wants you to do, you're going to end up like Michael Cohen had to end up, unfortunately. Even though, it was, his choice to do what he did, but at the same time, what choice did he have being under a president? That's why I said, that one, I don't play around with stuff like that. It's a time to joke, it's a time to laugh, it's a time for everything. We already know this. But when you begin to play with people's lives and everything like that, like what we seen in Congress, and I already did a video on that on yesterday, Mr. Comer, couldn't get Miss Green in order. He couldn't get her in order. And because he could not get her in order, it reminded me of how Miss Love treated Judge Glanville, how she made him sit down. That's what got cut off too. How Miss Love made Judge Glanville sit down. That's how I felt Miss Green did Comer the other day in Congress. It doesn't matter what side is on, what's true, and how can you fix it going forward. People want you to call out one wrong, but they don't want you to call out the other wrong. That doesn't fix nothing. And we can't act like we perfect and haven't made some mistakes, and we just let our economy blow up and we just let everything fall down just because of political war with, and games. This is people's lives. This is our nation. We should be able to serve and protect. Yes, we should be able to do that. In truth. In truth. And so, going forward, when nobody's held accountable, people are going to do what they want to, and there's going to be injustice. And we can't call, on a representative of Congress every time, or the president every time. We should be able to, live knowing that, people will be held accountable for wrongdoing. We should be able to feel that way within our land. You know, when you have people that's over you in control, that's oppressors and suppressors, or so humbled to a political party that they can't do what's right, what kind of justice is that for the citizens? So I am really hoping and praying that President Biden really cleans that house up, because at this point they have to be held accountable. I mean, if, like I said in my other video, if former President Trump comes in, he does what he want to do. Anytime he's overturning Roe versus Wade and he's out of office, anytime he's telling them not to pass aid to an ally that's in need because he don't like them, because he like Russia, who is supposed to be Americans' enemy, and if not enemy, they not all that. They don't work together like it's understood American UK does. So I'm just saying, if he can do that and have that much power, where is President Biden's power to hold people accountable for the law in truth and in the right way, like he has attempted to do? But we want to see this handled, because no one is safe. No one, has, will be getting justice, fair justice. And then you look at, what Governor Abbott did today, how he freed the racist military man. And these type of people get to walk free with no type of accountability or anything, just to prove a point that former President Donald Trump needs to be pardoned and freed. Just to prove a point that it's not a matter of what's right or wrong, it's what we want and what we will get, whether we're right or wrong. We can be wrong and break the law, and then we have power. How fair is that? So it needs to be some accountability, and we have time. We still got 5 months left, so we have time. Oh yeah, we got time to get it right. And for someone to do something like that, they can be trusted to govern a state, a nation, to so willfully break the law and just say it would be no penalties, but then hold a citizen responsible for keeping the law. It really does have to stop. And then I know Ahmaud Arbery, his court date is in June. When you do stuff like this, what Governor Abbott did, it's like it almost signifies, it's showing a sign to people to most definitely go ahead and do everything you can do to suppress the law, to make it look like nothing, because you're not going to be held accountable. And we can get all this chaos and confusion going before election time. And what has been put in place to ensure that the votes will be counted properly, people's safety is ensured when they go out to vote, there's no coup being plotted, so on and so forth. Where is that when we see what we're faced with, and then wonder why, as to my point that I said a long time ago, people need their rights to their guns and everything. Because when you let people out of jail that's not only racist, but military trained and a racist killer, when you let people out of jail like that, what do the people have to protect themselves? So I'm happy that the gun bill was revised to, you got to have a background check. How long those background checks at gun shows and everything like that when you need to protect yourself? Goes back to my initial point, when you got governors, in a hurry to release, every wrongdoer every wrongdoer in attempt to prove a point. And that could have another meaning. You know, the wicked always willing to reverse and try to destroy things. The wicked do it every time. But as I say, this is not to, sound like doom and gloom. It's just to say that it starts with our leader, our commander in chief, holding these justices, these judges, these governors, and any other official that's responsible for representing the American people accountable. Yeah, that's where it starts at. So that's all I would most definitely say, and I will most definitely end with that. But overall, no one wants to be under a dictator because it might sound good, like they're all for something at first, and then the moment that you don't do what they want, they will do everything to try to oppress and suppress you in any way, and that's what we do not want. That's what we do not need. So once again, I hope I hope all of you enjoy your weekend. I'll leave I'll most definitely leave you all with that truth. Most definitely. Um yeah. And just pray and know no weapon formed against us shall prosper. No weapon formed against us will prosper. No weapon formed against us can prosper at the end of the day. Whether I say it in order or out of order, I still mean the same as I have initially said. So, again, we are praying for this nation in truth and no wickedness, no anything else, but in purity and in truth. That's what we're doing. That's where we're at, and that's what it is. Again, all of you have a great weekend, and just be true and stay true in all you do. Don't give the wicked any chance to ever try to reverse you on you in the wrong way. I mean, just stay true at the end of the day. Let me get off of here. That's it.